Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day. We've got sunshine, and we can leave our jerseys out because we are good to go. Um, Today is Tuesday. We've changed it that it's free mentorship academy. It's investment mentorship academy core because we have invested in it so that we can be here from Monday to Friday. My name is Dr. Sunshine Sylvia. You can just call me Sunshine, and I'm so happy to be here with you. We come every day, Monday to Friday. Yesterday, we had an amazing call with Rev Water. I learned so much there. I hope you too, you learned something. On Tuesday, it's today. On Wednesday, we've got mompreneurs. We bring in young people who would like to ride on our shoulders so that they would be able to do the things that they want to do. And we've got Sampa leading that. And if you're a young person out there and you'd like to ride on our show, you are free to contact us or contact Sampa directly. On Thursday, we've got Dr. Nelly, amazing, and we learn a lot all the time. And on Friday, we have our healthy tips, which are being taken, through by New Image. And if we do not exercise, or we don't feed our bodies, then it's so difficult for us to thrive. And we've done this because of the Wheel of Life, where we have our physical and health, which they've entered through, and we just want to shine and thrive there so that everyone is really able to rise and shine every day and do the things that they want. So today, I'm very thrilled to host today's special guest, someone who has fully embraced the mindset change process and is living proof of what can happen when you follow the system. Please help me welcome Joseph Kayamba, also known in the MCP circles as the Strategist number 2. And I just want to thank you, Joseph, for taking time from your busy schedule with Kaizen Institute. And I really, feel that you are the correct people that are dealing with productivity in the country. And so you can help, as you speak about, the changes that happen in your life and the changes that are there, we are all good to go. So, Joseph, let's begin by going back a little bit. Before you joined the MCP in July, Joseph came to the MCP with a team of, Kaizen in July of 2024. And I just want you to describe your mindset, your routines, and how life was going on in general. Because why am I going to say this? It's because, a lot of people come to the training. A lot of people do have these trainings where we send you back with the success planner to practice and see how you can be able to retain and duplicate yourself with the people that are around you. And so I just want you to just share in brief. We've got 25 minutes to run with this, and half of the time is yours. So, go for it, and let's just hear how it all started and how you were before. Over to you, Joseph.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Sylvia or Sunshine. Um, so before the training, Doc, um, there was some level of disorganization. Like you would sit down, you would want to do something, you think, okay, I can be a better person. Yeah, maybe I can also do that. I can also do that. I can also do that. But how exactly are you going to get to do that? So it was a bit it was difficult actually to put things in place and start to follow up those things for you to achieve the goals. Actually, there were a lot of goals in summary that I had, but there was no systematic way of turning those goals into results. So they just became goals like day to day. So I want to do this, I would love to do that, I would love to do that. So, but after the training, there was actually now a more practical way of turning those goals into actual results. Thank you.
Wow. I like the way that you had a lot of goals that you wanted to do, and yet, it was challenging to do those goals. So, when you actually take us forward now, you went through the MCP in July. what changes did you start noticing after completing the training? Just the changes that you started to notice, after the training.
Okay, for me, Doc, I think the key actually was because I remember when you asked what the expectations were. So I said, okay, this is a good training program, but for me, I'm looking at a more practical way. And I think the first thing you did was we divided how many hours we have in a day. You made us consciously aware that you've got 24 hours in a day, and of those 24 hours, you spent 8 hours sleeping, 8 hours at work. Then, how do you even account for the other 8 hours? So after the training doc here, I later realized to say, okay, so I do have a lot of time, the 8 hours. How do I account for it? So using the MCB training after they went through the wheel of life, I discovered to say, okay, I can push something with my academics. I can try and make myself more marketable. So what I did, I decided to start using the other 8 hours more intelligently this time around. So immediately, I think before we even finished the training, the moment you just gave me that idea to say, look, we've got this other 8 hours, I immediately enrolled into school. I think I was enrolling the same time I was doing the training. I said, enrolled into school, involved myself in other things, just so I can use up the other 8 hours more productive. Yeah.
Okay, so you became organized both in how you play your day and how. I just like the way that you have said that you became accountable, and that is the main. Accountability is exactly what this training does. It makes you account. It makes you realize if I brush my teeth for 10 minutes, if I sit in the toilet for 30 minutes, if I am on the phone consistently for so long and I'm just, I am not even knowing what I'm doing, you are losing time. It means your 8 hours, obviously the first 8 hours where you are at Kaizen is accountable because you have to be there. But even
Yes.
when it is 8 hours that is we are being accountable for and paid for, sometimes maybe you're only putting in 1 hour. So when you can actually say, what did I do at 8 hours? What did I do at 9 hours? What did I do at 10, at 11, at 12? See, you'll even find that you've got so much time which you did not realize. So I like it that you became accountable. But you enrolled. Last week, I had my sister's grandchild graduate. She came here in the class, and she was like, so I was asking her, so what are you doing? Says I was supposed to go for training, last, but I missed the semester. I said, so when is the next semester? She says, I don't know. So I got her out of class and said, go find out, go call. Do you have the number? Yes. Go find out and go and, um, find out when the next semester is. And it so happened that the following Monday, which was first, I remember it so well, it was 1st of April, she says, oh, it's actually following Monday, they're starting the semester and that you can book that you're on that semester. And so 1 year later, she had graduated. So I think, just being intentional and being accountable for what you're doing is really what this program does. And I'm so, so happy that you found, yourself and you actually did now do the training. And how far are you for your training?
So I'm actually in my last semester for my master's in cybersecurity. So I think after the thought part is done, the research, I am graduating next year. Not let me not say I should be graduating. No, I am graduating next year. Because this time I have
Yes.
full control over what I'm doing, full control over my life. Uh, Very few, if none, of the things keep out of my control this time around. Yes, doc.
And just tell us just how you feel, how you feel by accomplishing the goals that you're putting, across, daily. Just how do you feel? Because the people that are listening to you, they want to get really how you feel when you accomplish something, when your day has gone well and everything you're ticking and you're ticking and you're ticking. How is that feeling? How can you express that feel? Because when we have this, mindset change, you can't see that my mindset is changed. You can only see it through the work that you're doing. So I just want you to have that expression, because sometimes we don't even know how to say it. We don't know how to say how the impact that it, MCP has. So if you can just elaborate a little bit how you feel and how you actually manage your day.
So, Doc, first of all, how do I feel? So, how I feel is like I'm now on top of things, like I explained in the previously. I'm now on top of things. I'm able to track. I'm able to track things. So now I'm able to set smarter goals this time around, smarter overall goals, which I later break down into what we're calling weekly reviews, and the weekly reviews, the daily planning as well. Then something else that has made me feel actually on top of things is one other concept that I really love, the concept of time blocking. So nowadays you can be here with me in the same office, but if I haven't allocated time to say, okay, now I can socialize, you think as though I'm not around this time around after the training. So I let go of the need for motivation though, and embrace structure instead, so that I remain on top of things. So the shift that made the difference after the training, the tools that you gave us, now I feel like I'm top of things. I can do more. Actually, I'm actually contemplating on enrolling for another program. I think before this year comes to an end, I'm just on top of things though after the training.
That is so good. That is so inspiring, Joseph. Many people go through training but fall off because they don't follow through. You mentioned that following the system was key for you. What does that mean to you, and how does it help? How does it help you? Because I say this, and I'm sure even the other things that you do. I remember asking you to have a look at our website, and you were just confirming that the website is really good. And you just opened something that we needed to have someone to actually be having a look. If we didn't have that communication with you, that you are in cybersecurity, you're an IT a person, you're this, I wouldn't even have known that those. So as a consultant in that area, I'm sure you're also growing there, where now I'm sure you just don't go all around. You actually give someone an invoice and say, okay, for me to be able to do this is what it is, so that you are able now to use that resource for your plan B, which when Kaizen is not there, you're not going to be stuck. But you have put in so much into Kaizen that it has given you visibility, it has given you accountability, it has given you, that place where you are. And this is sometimes when we say, when you come to do the mindset change process, where we want you to be effective, we want you to be efficient, we want you to save time, we want you to prepare for your retirement, we want you to prepare for the person that is succeeding you, who is not seeing you when you are locked in. I like the way, locked in. It's like when you're doing the numbers game. No one can come through to you and say, you can't even see them because you've locked in that time. And sometimes this is what prevents us from achieving what we want, is because of all these disturbances where we have not learned to lock in. Anything that you want to happen, you have to create time and lock in for a specific time. That's why even in the success planner, there are blocks of 45 minutes each hour, 45 minutes each hour. But it also gives you the 15 minutes to be flexible, to review for your next assignment, and so on and so forth. So you talked about daily planning. You are now daily planning. You are task oriented. You are time blocking. You have got weekly reviews, and you are setting. I love the word, you are setting smarter goals. What can you say about smarter goals? And a lot of people think that when you set goals, smart goals, the way we know them, but you learned how to do smarter goals. What is the difference between smart goals and smarter goals?
Okay, Doc. So in my
Yes.
in my habit of reading, I came across something, I think later this week. So someone was saying you can never achieve anything that you've not set. You can never achieve a target that you've not set. So, Doc, the difference in a nutshell between smart and smarter goals is that smarter goals go even further than the SMART goals. SMART goals go even further and giving you a much clearer picture, that is much clearer actually than the SMART goals that are actually going to do. And in the smarter goals, you even go a bit further to even put timelines within proper specific timelines of those objectives that you want to achieve, of those objectives that you need to turn into results. I think that's what I can say is the difference between the two. So setting even smarter goals positions you well as an individual to actually achieve and actually track progress and feel that you're actually moving from point A to point B as an individual.
That is so perfect, and I just want to even add more. Like on Sunday, we were celebrating our 40th wedding anniversary, so we had set
Congratulations.
this matter goes. And what did we do? We are reviewing, because the smarter has got the ER at the end. We try to energize ourselves by reviewing the things that we need to do, by making sure that what can we improve on? How can we make sure that we keep ourselves excited, we keep the energy, and we also just review what are the risks that are there in our relationship that we can mend? What is it that we can be able to do? And we found that we had so much, we had 2 days of reviewing and evaluating what we need to do to function better. We redesigned what we have to do. We planned what are we going to do, from now going the other side, where we know the years that we have lived are longer than where we're going. So how can we even make it even better? Because when you set the smarter goals, like you're saying, specific. Even if your goal is specific, how are you going to sustain it? So in mindset change, we say specific, but also sustainable, so that you can be able to make sure that it is. This is your review for today, strategist. So even if your goal is measurable, the goals are measurable, because why? You've got meaning. So there is measurable, and it also must have meaning. Meaning, you want to improve yourself on the things that you've been doing. A goal is achievable, but is that goal going to be achievable? You were not going to achieve it if you did not take action. What are the action steps that you are taking? So for me, these are the things that I'm hearing you saying, that, okay, achievable, action steps, relevant. Even if the goal is relevant, if there's no reason for you to do it, so the R for relevant, we add it in mindset change to have the reason for you that compels you to do what you need to do. And when we say time bound, you'll be saying, okay, I'm going to do that. That goal that you set in December, by the time it's December again, you have done it. But if you really, it doesn't matter. Time bound, taking action again. Taking action is about the most important thing that you do when you set those goals. You give it within this time frame of the goal. This is sometimes you set goals. We call them a New Year's resolution. Come December, you still have that New Year's resolution. You just take it. Oh, last year I failed to take my New Year's resolution, so let me go and say them again. But once you have this mindset change of doing things, you have to take action within that framework. And now the new ER, which means you just have to have the energy, you have to have exciting. And this is why you've been excited, to complete your masters. You are excited to build people's websites. You are excited, you keep yourself excited. And even if you're excited, if you don't have the energy, it's a problem. So this is why the mindset change is encouraging us to have smarter goals. And even if those goals, when you fail, sometimes we encourage you to fall forward, so that it can give you how to refine, how to redesign. I remember when we had the uplifter Ruth, one of on the calls, she says, she had designed to have an upstairs, house and this, but when she looked at the budget, she had to refine and redesign. but she still had her goals accomplished because she had them, side by side, and was able to look at them all the time. So these, the goals that we have assigned to, to ourselves, in the way that we do things. What is it, for your plan? I know for your plan B, you have done all these things. I just want to hear from your plan A, from Kaizen, when you went back to the office. How did it feel? Because you've got a fantastic program that you do, and because you were all the team in there, with the CEO and with all these, your team members. Even you even had to, CEO had to send back the, Fred, who didn't participate, just because of what was happening, and you really needed everyone to be in there. I just want you to share, just how, the program has helped, to align, at your plan A, place.
So thank you very much, Doc. So after the training, now I return to the office. So usually what we here at KZ, we have what we call key performance indicators that are given to you at the beginning of every year, and you have to sign with the CEO committing to those key performance indicators. But it was really difficult sometimes. You would actually find yourself, midway half the quarter, you haven't done most of the things. So after the training now, I was able to, again, I'm emphasizing on the need for a structure on how to achieve those goals. So now, this time around, you do have this key performance indicator that you have to meet. Then after the MCP process, now you've been given the tools now that are cross-cutting, that can even apply in the workplace now. So now you bring down that goal, break it down into the daily activities that you're doing, into the weekly activities, into the monthly activities, and the most important part now, you begin to review your own performance. Maybe just picking a leaf from the Bible as well. The review part, even when God was doing creation, at the end of everything that He created, the Bible says, and God um, saw this and He said it was good. So even God was actually reviewing His own work. So from the time the MCP training came back to KIZ, I was able now to properly plan for the KPIs on how to meet them and review them on a weekly basis, even on a daily basis, to say, today that I'm here, what have I done better towards achieving the goal? Now I think I'm able to contribute more to the team than I was before I came for the MCP training. So again, my emphasis, structure. There should be a way that things should be done. Don't just techi pante pante. Don't just do things anyhow. You even be arriving at the wrong goals that you're not supposed to do. So structure, doc, really helped a lot. Now the KPIs are under control. You even see, okay, now this I'm able to do. This might go slightly, but I can bring it back if maybe I just spend more hours in a day doing it. Yeah.
That is so super. And I'm so excited to actually listen to you. And I just want you to relate now to the wheel of life in the other areas. We have touched on the mental and education, we've touched on the financial and career. Now, these other areas, family and home, how has MCP helped you to nurture, your whole wheel of life, starting with family and home? How can you now package yourself in the new you? Because if you look behind me, you can actually look behind me and say, I am really in the center of the wheel of life. How has MCP impacted your own wheel of life?
So like I said in the beginning, this time on now, there's I have that ability to be cautiously aware of what is happening. So I'll give an example. I'm a new dad, still new in this whole father thing now. So under family, under family, when you knock off from home, I have a little girl at home. For her, she doesn't care who you are at the office, who you are. All she wants is to have a dad to play with when you reach home. There also has to be time for that within the other 8 hours that is remaining. So in terms of that's in terms of family. I remember last time you made us go to a certain website when I told A, B, C, D. I now have enough time for my wife. From that time, I actually engaged something like on a monthly basis, we have to go out. We have to try out new restaurants. We have to try out everything. And the bond is growing stronger this time around. For financial, this time around, um, we don't use money anyhow. Money must be used somehow. Before it even comes, it has where it is fitting. Yeah. We talk about the physical aspect. Every Sunday morning we have a game. We play a game. I've got targets that I have to meet. Sometimes I'll just, like I was saying, at the time blocking. I'll leave the office after I accomplished something and just start taking a walk. Someone will think like I'm walking aimlessly, no. But I block that time to say between this time and this time, I'm going to take a walk from here to ShopRite and then come back. So someone will be like, no, we saw you were ignoring us. I wasn't ignoring. It's just that the time was blocked. Then with education as well, the master's degree, the short courses that are there online, yeah, the spiritual. I'm now able to read books, listen to podcasts, take my family to church, discuss, engage in meaningful conversations. Like every Friday, we sit down as a family to just go through what we call a study guide, the Bible, encourage the family, sing together, and pray. It at least there's a bit of balance. There is balance, not a bit of balance now with my entire will than it was back then. Yeah.
Yes, I remember. I remember during the sessions where it says, you are broke before the money comes." Now I can feel that you allocate money,
Yes.
before it comes. That is such a big shift, and I'm sure those ones that are listening to us can feel good about what it is that they are able to do with the money. I love the way it says you are working with purpose. You find you know you find yourself just being in that space where you are you, and you know what it is that you want at the end of the day. That is so incredible. I am so happy about that, and I've also learned something from there. Even working with purpose, like you would say, okay, I'm here, I'm going to do a walk here. We just do it in inside here, and you meet someone and you haven't seen them because you are busy. Because when you are walking, you're also thinking. Because we said you have to allocate time to think. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
People who don't allocate time to think, you find that they forget everything. Because you have to remember through thinking. You remember what you were thinking about. You remember how you are going to do it. But when you are intentional about the things that you want, then it really becomes something that is good. And this is what we call uh, a wholeness of life. You've got a wholeness of life, and you can relate, and you can think big. Think even the small things, like when you arrive. I remember the homework that we had. When you arrive, have dinner with your family. Whether people have eaten, not, you call this one the daddy in the corner, the mother is busy, doing things. When you have got no chance of actually saying, how was your day? And you will never find out the things until it's too late. But when you can relate and you have allocated time, that when I arrive from work, I arrive at home, the first thing is to show myself that I'm here in a good body, I am with you. Can we talk about how your day was? And in fact, when you are saying about the good things that happened, where you went, everyone is going to find something good to talk about. And it's got such a ripple effect that everyone has to find something that is good. And you can actually agree to disagree on the things that you want to be doing on a daily basis when you arrive at home. So we are almost concluding. I just want you to just what your biggest takeaway for this, what you can share to the people out there, so that they will be able to come into your space and appreciate who you are, and also what changes they can make without really struggling through life.
Um, Thank you very much again, though. So my advice is simply keep it simple and stay consistent. Have a structure. Put everything in a structure. Set your smarter goals. There are a lot of tools from the MCP training. Pick one of those tools. See how you can apply it to your life. One thing that I've come to learn actually that I noticed, I never noticed this. if as an individual you live without goals and the specific goals, you'll be helping other people achieve their goals. That's what I've come to understand. So as an individual, you need to have a proper clear direction of where you're going and where you should be, even just the next hour. So this is a process. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to be persistent. You just have to be consistent. Discipline, I think, is key. Discipline takes us further compared to what motivation will do to us. So my advice would be, um, have a structured how so set your smarter goals, have a structured way in which you're going to achieve those goals, remain disciplined and persistent. We're not promising that you're going to achieve it the first time, no, but with that consistency and discipline, you definitely get there. Thank you very much, Doc.
That is so good. Thank you so much, strategist Jose. What a powerful, grounded, and inspiring testimony. Your transformation is a testament to what happens when you not only get to learn, but to apply what you have
Apply as
learned.
well.
Yes. So let's take this forward. For those on the call, let's commit to following the MCP system. If you do not have it, we are here to say come and get your system, because the system allows you to monitor those smarter goals and living intentionally. Because once we live intentionally, we are able to capture the world, not the world capturing us. So for here, every month we have two times that we do a mindset change process. We do it first week and last week of each month. Um, Once we make 10 participants minimum, we go on and tell those stories and engage, and that makes us really we learn as we facilitate. So we actually invite you to take up that phone call and call us so that we can be able to engage and start the process. There is no one size fits all. You can come at your own pace, you can learn at your own pace, but this program is a 3-day sit down of unlearning, relearning, and retention. We give you a success planner where you now go and practice so that it makes life easy for you. You need, as you heard from Joseph, the strategist, the MCP name is strategist, where he has to follow a system. And we give you a system not for 21 days, but for 3 months, 90 days, where each month you have to review and monitor yourself, check yourself, and we are your accountability partner until you can run off and be on your own and do it. Becomes a lifestyle. Mindset change is a process for a life of your dreams, for a life that you want. So today, make you one of your 4 imperative things to just say, I am ready for change. Change is challenging, but we are more, there are so many things that challenge us than just change. So we should be able to sit up and be able to undertake the small steps that we need in our lives. So thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to tomorrow, and we look forward to next Tuesday. We are looking for a guest to feature next Tuesday. We are talking to the graduate who graduated, and we hope that she can come and share her story and her journey. Once you tell the story, you are uplifting one person out there. So thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great day.
Thank you.